quarter here in Dallas. Phoenix leading the Mavs 32-18. Time for tonight's Converse all-in-team moment, John.
It's been all about Steve Nash and the brilliance of smarts of this MVP player. Here we get a switch. He's got Dirk Nowitzki on him. He knows he could go by him. Takes him into the lane and just drops it off to a cutting Sean Marion. And this time, Desana Diop, why don't you get it a try? Switches on him, knows he could go right by him, takes him down the lane. A nice little floater, fadeaway jumper. Steve Nash, 7 points, 4 assists, 15 points total, almost half of the total. Dallas Mavericks have got to switch up their pick and roll coverage. You cannot switch on Steve Nash.
And the greatest thing about Steve Nash in the age of Shaq here, Steve is short, slow, and can't jump, and is still the best player in all the lanes.
Raja Bell with the miss. It's Austin Crozier, Devin Harris, Jerry Stackhouse, Dirk Nowitzki, and Josh Howard. A scoring unit on the floor for Dallas. You still have Nash on the bench and Amari Stoudemire with 2 fouls as the second quarter begins. Nowitzki over Bell.
How do you guard Dirk Nowitzki? I don't think you can.
But they've gone small with Raja Bell, and anytime he sees that, they're going to go to the free throw line and post him up.
Nice defensive presence by Crozier, but the bump caused the foul as Barbosa, who's been working that baseline great tonight.
I think this is a great thing that Avery Johnson does. Anytime a small plays Dirk Nowitzki, he takes him to the top of the key. Very difficult to double team from that stage. Dirk Nowitzki loves to go left, but he anticipates that he's going to get cut off. He's great at spinning back the other way and knocking down that fadeaway jumper.
But isn't that what Golden State did on Monday night?
Well, they don't go in every night, Bill.
They just ran people at Dirk and said, hey, this guy is too good. We're going to make the other guys see if they can beat us.
One more coming for Barbosa. Amari Stoudemire comes back in. If you want to be an all-star at the NBA Finals, log on to NBA.com. Chance to win a trip for 2 to the NBA Finals 2007, including round-trip transportation, hotel accommodations, and 2 tickets to a finals game. Of course, the finals were here last year. Dallas losing to Miami in 6 after getting the first 2 games of that series.
A great sign for D'Antoni and his Phoenix Suns. With Amari Stoudemire on the bench, shot with those 2 fouls. Phoenix outscored Dallas by 10, 24-14. The offense just kept rolling, the rhythm team, and the defense good enough to get it done for Phoenix.
Hey, Bill, let's just set the Suns out there. James Jones came in at the start of the quarter with Diao, Bell, Barbosa, and Amari Stoudemire just checked in. Stackhouse lost it on his hip, still 10 to shoot.
That is a dribbling violation.
Knocks down the long 2 to make it a 12-point game. Stack leading the Mavs in their St. Patrick's Day green 3rd uniform. He has 7 points. Barbosa on the switch, and drop.
He just did that 3 minutes ago.
The same move, just picked a different defender and just went right by him and said, this is in your face, and there's nothing you can do about it.
There's no way Jock can stay with this guy, the fastest player in the NBA, possibly.
Along with Iverson, maybe TJ Ford.
Howard, and 1. Chance for the 3-point play. Watch the speed of Barbosa last trip.
Again, another high pick and roll to the baseline side, and Jobs had no chance. He's standing in cement.
And on this end, the Josh Howard hoop is multiplied as a good move for Dallas because it is the 3rd personal foul on Boris Diaw, the most improved player of the year, is going to have to come to the bench. Lisa Salters, you can tell us a story about Barbosa?
I absolutely
and
am,
his
Mike.
speed.
And
it's a great story.
This was just shocking to me. I was talking to Dan D'Antoni before the game, and he, as you know, has been Barbosa's tutor, you know, kind of helping him out these last couple of years. I asked him what was the strangest question that Barbosa's ever asked him, and he said, I don't have a question, but I can tell you the strangest thing he ever did. Down at the Suns' end of the court during a game, Barbosa lost the ball and ran across court, said, sorry, coach, to Mike D'Antoni, and then sprinted down to get to the other end of the fast break, and he was there to defend it. He made it.
Job cleans this one up, gets the hoop, and a foul, and some energy here for Dallas, matching Phoenix from the first quarter, and Harris, who you're talking about, took the worst of that and is down at the baseline.
We can only hope that Devin Harris is going to be okay. They're going to take a timeout here.
Couldn't see him with all the bodies that were around him that he took the shot and he was down. And they are concerned as they check here on Devin. Let's get a look at it here as he came driving in for the hoop. step as they've called a timeout, and he takes the shot right across the head as James Jones is coming over for defensive help. So we'll check on Devin Harris for a moment as he's down. We'll be right back in Dallas. Sacramento and Golden State, 36 losses each, 2 behind the Clippers for the final spot in the West. Fred Devin Harris walked off gingerly under his own power after taking this inadvertent but very heavy arm across the head from James Jones. Harris stayed down for about another 30, 40 seconds after we went away, sat up. They were talking to him, and as you see, he was being led back with the Mavs team physicians for further evaluation. And Lisa Salters will be checking on that. If we hear anything from the Mavs, we'll have more on it for you. Meantime, chance to complete the three-point play for Sagana Diop. 39 of 67 at the line this year.
The problem that Phoenix faces right now, they had the big early lead. Nash is getting his customary rest. Boris Diaw, the other guy that keeps it all together, he's saddled with 3 fouls. How long can D'Antoni let Nash sit this one out?
And James Jones wide open. You can't leave him open. Knocks down a 3. 38% three-point shooter in his 4th year out of Miami after he spent the first part of his career with the Pacers.
Another blown coverage in the pick-and-roll game by the Dallas Mavericks.
Here is Howard. He knocks down the Mavs' 5th field goal of this quarter. They did that in 2.5 minutes. It took them the whole first quarter to get 5 field goals.
You know, Stoudemire has 2 fouls as well, but you can't do anything. You can't go at him with shot.
What you can do is drive to the basket.
Well, hopefully he's smart enough to know to get out of the way.
Stoudemire put it on the ground. Terry was in the way. No numbers for Josh Howard to back it out.
Nice to see Josh Howard having a big game. He has not been the same player since the All-Star game, which he so richly deserved.
Good battle by Nowitzki. Avery always wants him to get 1 offensive rebound, or 2 rebounds a game, 1.5. That time he throws it off the back of the backboard, and that's out of bounds, and it is Phoenix ball. Avery has Dirk this year. Just get a couple offensive rebounds per game.
Well, they've got 7 as a team, so that's a great job. That's something that the Phoenix Suns have focused on, is to not allow any second chance opportunities. The problem is they're getting the second chances, but they're not scoring.
Phoenix is not a great rebounding team. This is an offensively skilled team that can get out in transition, good enough defensively to clamp down when necessary, but not a dynamite rebounding squad.
Marion free for a corner triple. Amari goes up and gets it. Terry knocked it away.
What a pass.
Off Marion's hands, out of bounds.
Did you see how he picked that ball up? He just palmed it right off the ground with one hand. Come here, it's like a tennis ball in his hands.
But that play was reminiscent of the game that took place between these 2 great squads on December 28th, which was won in Dallas by 2 points, 101-99. They made all the right plays down the stretch. Steve Nash was putting the ball in perfect position, and every one of the front court players for Phoenix, they dropped the ball out of bounds, and they couldn't get it done.
Nowitzki won that game with a game-winning shot. Here tonight, he's 1 of 4, but there's another offensive rebound, John, for Dallas.
Got to take advantage of these opportunities.
Terry.
They do this time. Oh, he missed the layup.
Off chop, it will be Phoenix ball. Bill mentioned the second meeting between these teams, as Steve Nash is going to come back in next opportunity. First meeting between these teams was November 9th at Phoenix. Dallas won that game 119-112. When they met in that game, Dallas was 0-4. Phoenix was 1-4. Jones left open. Dallas cannot solve this basic Phoenix play.
And they play one more time after tonight, April 1st in Phoenix.
That'll be on ABC, part of NBA Sunday. NBA Wednesday here on ESPN. It's a timeout, Dallas, as they lead by 13. 42-29. The Suns have hit 4 threes, 2 of them from James Jones.